Happy Tuesday. It's Tell It All Tuesday. So we're going to talk about some of the things that's kind of been going on around us that we haven't really paid attention to as it relates to some of these tax laws. You hear about these things and you don't think about them. You don't give them a second guess. But I was just wondering, inquiring minds want to know, how many of you out there, American taxpayers, who were pregnant on July the 1st of 2022, far enough long where your baby had a heartbeat and you filed your unborn baby as a dependent on your taxes? So for those who live in Georgia, as do I don't know if you all remember this heartbeat bill. I think it's House Bill 481 or something like that. But anyway, it's called the heartbeat bill. And in this bill, the state of Georgia, not the federal government, but the state of Georgia, is allowing mothers to claim their unborn children on their tax returns when they file their 22 taxes this year in 2023. Now, there are a lot of red tape that I think is going to come along with this bill, because what happens if you miscarry, or what happens if, the baby, unfortunately is stillborn, or anything like that could happen that would, result in the loss of the baby. So one of the things that I thought was real slick, most of us, all of us accountants, professional people, know that in order for you to claim a dependent and to get a dependent exemption, you have to have a social security number. Well, an unborn child doesn't have a social security number. Social security numbers aren't issued until a birth, So what they have done, what the Georgia lawmakers have done, is they have made it such that Georgia filers, instead of claiming the unborn fetus on the dependent schedule, or the dependent schedule in the on Schedule 500, you put it in other adjustments. Okay, other adjustments. I'm thinking to myself, other adjustments. I can think of a million things that other adjustments can go towards. One of the most popular ones is if you have income, like scholarship income. That could be deemed as a adjustment to income. But anyway, an unborn fetus, this is crazy. So again, the federal government has been very clear. This is not what the federal government is doing. This is, related to Georgia and Georgia only. So I wonder how many other states are going to try to follow suit with the state of Georgia. And for any individuals that may have filed their unborn fetus or unborn child on their taxes this year, what do you think may be the ramifications, if any, if it turns out that a child isn't born? Do you think that there's a risk of the federal government the federal or the state accusing you of aborting the baby? Do you think that the risk of, other accusations could pursue or could ensue that would create additional problems or investigations or wreak additional havoc? And I said all that to say this. There are a lot of things that have changed, and a lot of things that have gone on as it relates to the tax laws, the tax codes. The biggest one in history we all know was Trump's Tax Cut Job Act, which is a piece of rollback legislation that's going to expire on December 31st, 2025. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention to that. I believe that there are about 70, I think, GOP House members right now that are in favor of expanding or making permanent that piece of legislation. And I need you to understand that that piece of legislation is also why so many taxpayers have experienced large shifts in their tax brackets, their effective tax rates, and things like that. And it's resulted in them having to either been getting very, very low refunds this year, or having to owe federal taxes um, in 2023. So I just need you to keep your eye on the ball. That's why I'm here telling it all. And I'm going to continue to do that because we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention when people don't think we're paying attention. And there's also some rumblings on the ground that even Biden, President Biden, Joe Biden, is planning to, I think, keep or expand that the Tax Cut Jobs Act that Trump piece of legislation. I don't have an inkling in my mind with why Joe Biden would want to expand that, extend it, keep any piece of it, because it's trash and it's meant for the wealthy, as we can all see. All that legislation did was create greater loopholes for billionaires and millionaires and people with money and great wealth to continue to skate and skirt the tax code and pay less taxes, while the ordinary regular taxpayers like ourselves get burdened with the bulk of funding our government and our government programs. So I just wanted to bring that to you today. I'm headed to the golf course. Is Central Gwinnett High School's golf banquet. Not banquet, but I guess it's kind of sort of a banquet, but they're playing 18 holes a day. So I will be heading out there to support, as I always do, our high school athletic programs. And I may be coming back at you a little bit later with some additional information, or a little bit more of a detail about House Bill 481 in the state of Georgia. It's called the Heartbeat Bill. If you live in the state of Georgia, you need to read it, and you need to understand it, and you need to make sure that don't get caught up in the woo-woo and the goo-goo of, ooh, I get a claim, my baby, and my baby isn't born yet, because there may be some pitfalls lurking around the corner. So anyway, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.